Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekakadash, and double honors to those great millstone while I learned his truth, and also to the hope elect that is scattered abroad. I'd like to say shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is The Collapse of America Has Begun. So I'd like to say shalom to all our listeners and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the idea about it is that, America is finished. And the idea about it that this place is constantly decaying left and right. And the idea about it that, you sensing that all sorts of calamity is coming upon America. And the idea about it that the dollar is getting ready to crash. This economy is getting ready to be a thing of the past. And I about to implement out of RFD microchip, the New World Order is getting ready to come into play. All hell is getting ready to break loose. You're seeing hyperinflation has started coming on a rise. Things are constantly intensifying. But a lot of people are still thinking that they're a good case, still thinking that, everything is going to be all right. America will be great again. No, America will be totally destroyed with fervent heat. And that is about including you, because that is about you did not want to seek the Lord. And that is about we read upon great judgment, great death and mourning. And that is about we constantly warning you left and right. And that is about World War III has begun. And that is about it constantly sanctioned Russia, you know what I'm saying? And that is about things are constantly is going to spill over into America. And that is about it. You're seeing all of that crying, all that mourning that's going on in Ukraine. Just a little glimpse of what's getting ready to come to America. America is getting ready to go down. And that is about it. We constantly telling you left and right, but you're still thinking that you know everything. You're still thinking that, the Lord love everyone. You're still thinking that white man G still thinking that he is your savior. And that is about it. You're in for a rude awakening. And that is about it. You're seeing all these gas prices constantly going up. Seeing that, the shelves are empty in these stores, Walmart, different places that you shop. A lot of things are lacking. And that is about it. The lack of bread. Starvation is coming back in a big way. And that is about it. That we're telling you left and right. A lot of things are happening all around the world. And that is about it. Bible prophecy is constantly being fulfilled left and right. And the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is The Collapse of America Has Begun. So we get started in the book of 2nd Ezra. One moment. We get started in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. And we will start up at verse 22. And it reads, And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So that about that, America was thriving, was constantly, it was the land of milk and honey. But now all of a sudden things are constantly drying up. You're seeing the shelves are constantly being bare. When you go to a certain place that you shop, you cannot find your favorite food, your favorite things that you are looking for. And that about that, a lot of people still are not considering, still thinking that, everything is going to be all right. Nothing is going back the same. And that about it that in thy security, great death and mourning all of a sudden. And that about it that, so the thing that was sown, that everything that's looked good, but all of a sudden it's coming unsown, because that is about the Lord said that, Bible prophecy is constantly being fulfilled. And that is about it, he said a great famine, great pestilence, it's coming upon us left and right. And we constantly warning. And a lot of our people is getting ready to die in a great number. And that is about it. You, whether you hear or whether you forbear. And that is about it. The great day of the Lord is fastly approaching. So now we'll start back up, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and we'll start back up at verse 23, one moment. And it reads, And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. So a lot of people are constantly having thoughts of something is getting ready to happen. They seeing that, things are going up, hyperinflation. They seeing that, damn, where we look, you go to your store, ribeye, maybe $50 now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that really cost a little bit of nothing is constantly growing. And that is about it that, the dollar is constantly decreasing. And that is about we're constantly warning you left and right, uproars of the people, insurrection. And that is about it that, a lot of things are getting ready to happen on a mass level. And that is about the great tribulation is right upon it. Jacob's trouble. And that is about we constantly warn. And the trumpet has been blown. And that is about the prophets on the highways. About we're standing on our feet. We constantly sang and crying left and right, telling you this impending danger is right upon us. And that is about you're still thinking that this is a game. But that is about America is finished. It's collapsing each and every day. And I remember we seeing it all around us. We seeing things that just constantly, you know what I'm saying? It just don't even look right no more. The atmosphere had changed. The world is changing. And also the earth is constantly fading away. The Lord is getting ready to usher in that righteous kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. So now, let's go to Matthew chapter 24. One moment. Matthew chapter 24. And we'll start up at verse 6. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And it reads, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, All these are the beginning of sorrow. So that about we at the beginning of sorrow. All these things are taking place, just like the Bible said. His word is not returning him void. And that about we constantly warning you left and right. We're sounding like a broken record, but that about we're gonna constantly do the will of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that about it, we're seeing all these different things are coming into play left and right. We're living in some exciting times, and that about we knowing that our salvation is very close, that we yet believe. So look up, and that is about it. We're looking up each and every day because we're ready to get back in our first estate. We cannot wait. Woo! The kingdom of heaven is at hand. So now let's go to 2 Ezra chapter. One moment. 2 Ezra chapter 16, and we'll get a little follow up, a little quick precept. 2 Ezra chapter 16. One moment. 2 Ezra chapter 16, and we'll start up at verse 18. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. And it reads, The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evil shall come? So that about these evil are constantly coming upon us. And a lot of people are still thinking that they're are saved. They're thinking that they're, all right. They still thinking that, hey, you know what I'm saying? I love the Lord. Everything is be all right. I have plenty. But the idea about that would not save you in a time of trouble. If the Lord is not dealing with you, you will be destroyed. And that is about you would die from starvation. You would die by the sword. A lot of things are getting ready to happen on a mass level. And we constantly tell you left and right. Seeing all these rumors of war, it is constantly going to intensify. A lot of people are still unbelievers. Still don't have the faith, but that is about it. That will be a thing of the past. The Lord is getting ready to set things back into order. So now, let's go to, let's start back up at verse, 2 Ezra chapter 16. Let's start back up at verse 19. And it reads, Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. So a lot of these things are coming upon us, scourges, behind scourges, hyperinflation, rumors of war. You're seeing all these different things. People are constantly telling you to seek the Lord. A lot of people still are not considered, and these evil are constantly growing. And that is about it. That day is coming. Jacob's trouble is right upon a time that we have never seen before. So now, 2 Ezra chapter 16, we'll start back up at verse 20. And it reads, But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So a lot of people are not mindful, are not paying attention, are not considering. And that about it, the Lord said, My people are destroyed all day long for a lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So a lot of people are constantly turning their back on Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And these evil are constantly growing each and every day. They're at the door. And that is about America is finished. It is constantly crumbling left and right. This place is dying. It's constantly drying up. And that is about it. With the middle of the Lord, we're constantly looking around and everything. We see nothing but death all across America. And that is about it. It is getting ready to intensify. So now, 2 Ezra chapter 16, let's start back up at verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good and cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, the sword, famine, and great confusion. So a lot of people are still thinking that they're a good cake because they're eating good. They're drinking good. They still be able to go and come as they please. Everything seems to be all right. Sunshine is steady outside. You know what I'm saying? Everything is lovely. But all of a sudden, that storm is coming. You know what I'm saying? And that is about warning before destruction. And a lot of people are still not hearing, still are not seeing, and you're still thinking that this is a game and you're getting ready to die. So now, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and we'll start back up at verse 22. And it reads, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So that is about a lot of people are eating good, barbecuing, constantly eating at these restaurants, what little ones are still open. And that is about it. You know, when you go to fast food restaurant, the food and the service is just terrible. And that is about it. The Lord is constantly moving through the earth. And that is about it, that everything that you love, know, and see, he's getting ready to turn it all into darkness. And that is about it, that we constantly warn you left and right, because you still are eating good, because you still are sleeping good, you still have a roof over your head. But what will you do when you won't have a house to stay in? No food. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't know where your next place where you're going to lay your head or how you're going to take a bath. That's when you got to trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. But a lot of you still thinking that you're good, and that about it, that, you know, if you're not in this great wisdom and knowledge, if you're not part of the elect, you are going to die. And that about it. We constantly want you left, but you don't want to hear that. You constantly want to believe in the so-called white man and trust it in the strength of Egypt, and it will cause your great death and destruction. So now, let's don't mean to be rambling. Let's go to one moment. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. One moment. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. One moment. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we'll start up. One moment. We'll start up at verse 14. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. And it reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draws near, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. So that about it, you know, that great time of trouble, you know, order out of chaos. When the dollar crashed, and that about a lot of people, you know, when the food and stuff be shorted and water shorted, a lot of people are going to lose their mind. And so it's going to be help people, you know what I'm saying, your neighbor fighting one another, your brothers and your sister fighting one, all chaos wherever you look, you know what I'm saying, kill or be killed. So it's going to be a great time of trouble that we have never seen. So when all your luxuries be taken away from you, then we will see who will you trust in. Are you going to trust in the so-called white man, or are you going to trust in your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So now, let's start back up at 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And let's start back up at verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that time is right upon us. And that's about you constantly seeing that when you go to the store, that lack of bread, you're seeing that, you know, that a lot of people, money is constantly growing thinner and thinner because things are constantly rising. And that's about it, that, you know what I'm saying, people are beginning to see they're getting ready to start outliving their means. And that about it, that, you know, the well is drying up, and a lot of people are going to start stealing or start killing. And that about it, because they're going to be desperate. They won't have any faith. And that about it, they won't believe in their true power. And that about it, you know, it would be a time of trouble. And people will lose their damn mind. And that about it, it is coming. And that about that, World War III has begun. And that about it, this global reset is right upon us. We constantly warning you left and right. But a lot of people are getting ready to line up like clockwork, because that about it, they did not believe. They did not have the faith. And that about it, they thought that it was a game. And that about it, in their time of trouble, they said, the Lord said, they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 34. One moment. No, chapter 24. So like Isaiah chapter 24, just a quick lesson through the Spirit. And I hope you get edified by the lesson today. Isaiah chapter 24. One moment. Isaiah chapter 24. And we'll start up at verse 4. Isaiah chapter 24 and no, so like Isaiah chapter, that's right. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 4. One moment. And it reads, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world language and fadeth away. And the haughty people of the earth do language. Let's read that again. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world language and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do language. So that everybody that, the Lord is constantly tearing this place down, brick by brick. You're seeing that the economy is constantly failing. You're seeing that, people are having uncertainties about the government. You know what I'm saying? And they're not trusting in this fallen system. And everybody, a lot of people great fear is falling upon them. And everybody constantly hearing those rumors of war, and they're only going to intensify. And everything is getting ready to boil over into America. And everybody that, the indignation of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is very close. And everybody, they're walking in great pride, but that everybody, they will be brought low in that day. And a lot of people will be constantly begging, and they will wish that they have seeked the Lord, but it will be too late. So now, let's start back up at verse 7. Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 7. And it reads, the new wine mourneth, the wine language, all the merry-hearted do sigh. So a lot of people right now, they constantly seeing that something is getting ready to happen. And a lot of people that was, a happy-go-lucky is constantly now they consider, hey, man, something is getting ready to happen. I don't know what it is. I think that man that was wearing that dress was hollering and you know what I'm saying? And I thought he was crazy. I believe that what he's saying is the truth. And everybody, the Lord said, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time. And everybody, when you wake up, the missile will be flying, and we're going to go up and get out of this place. And everybody, we knowing that this is not our rest. If you are comfortable here and you love it here, you'll get ready to die here. So now, let's start back up at Isaiah chapter 24, and we'll start back up at verse 8. The mirth of the taverns ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth the joy, and the harp ceases. Verse 9, they shall not drink wine with a song, and strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. So that everybody, the city of confusion is talking about America, aka Babylon the Great, is constantly being broken down. And everybody, the Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. He's constantly warning you left and right through his mouthpiece, which in fact is the prophet, the one that you will think that is crazy, but that ain't about it. In the end, he said, they shall know that a prophet was among them. A lot of people constantly walking around with great pride, constantly thinking about themselves, thinking about all the money they have, all the great possession, and that about it, that it would not save you in that time of trouble. And that about it, we constantly warn you left and right. It is time to seek the Lord and come back under total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, one moment. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, one moment. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and we'll start up at verse 14. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse, one moment, and verse 14, one moment. One moment. One moment. Salakia, one moment. Let's go to Sirach chapter 12, one moment. Sirach chapter 12, one moment. One moment. We'll get there, one moment. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 14. One moment. One moment. No, it's Sirach chapter 5. One moment. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. Sirach. And it reads, make no terror to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. So that about a lot of people in their security, constantly at ease, constantly going on in the ways of the world, thinking about their job, thinking about traveling, thinking about their bank account, not thinking about their true power. And all of a sudden, great death and destruction is coming upon us. And that about is that it will be too late. We're constantly warning you left and right. The great day of the Lord is fast approaching, and the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Esau is the end of this earth age. It is constantly crumbling left and right. It is decaying. And out about the beginning of it that followed is the kingdom of heaven. Jacob, Israel, that is our kingdom. That's the kingdom that we're waiting on. Our righteous kingdom that flourish, forever and forever. We cannot wait. So rejoice ye heaven. So now, let's go to let's get a quick precept. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse, one moment, verse 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 2, one moment. And it reads, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to its heart, to his heart." So that is about it. We are in the house of mourning. We constantly sighing and crying left and right, telling the Lord to have mercy upon us in this great time of trouble. That we're part of the hopeful elect. And that is about it. We cannot wait to get out of here. And that is about it. We hate this place. We're ready for World War III to jump off. We're ready for Esau, even the so-called white man, the red man of Genesis chapter 25, to come down with that great wrath, because he knowing that he has a short time. Once he make his move, the Lord is getting ready to make his move. We cannot wait. And also, we are not ignorant of Satan's device. This place is constantly decaying left and right. So now, let's get us another quick precept. One moment. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, one moment. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 10. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 10. And it reads, "All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?" So that's what the other nations, they constantly seeing that America is being weak. They're seeing that they're having problems. They cannot trust the government. Government and the people against one another. They're seeing all this great confusion is going on over here. And that about the heathens are raving left and right to see who's going to be the next superpower. And that about Russia is getting ready to make its move. Ezekiel chapter 38 is getting ready to come to play. It's coming to life left and right. And that about Jeremiah chapter 50, Jeremiah chapter 51. All these Bible prophets are getting ready to come to life. And that about to be fulfilled. And that about the great day of the Lord is fast approaching. And to implement, what we're waiting on is the implement of the RFD microchip. It is very close. And that is about that. Let no man deceive you. The Lord said that. And that is about that. We constantly warning. We're sounding like a broken record. We're not keeping not silent. And the idea about it, we are not ashamed to stand up for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh. We knowing that this place is finished. Because once this place is finished, then our kingdom will start. We cannot wait. And that about it. You love all this oppression, love to be in the last at the bottom. Then hey, go head on. The Lord said you will be destroyed with your love. And white man Jesus, you get ready. All this is getting ready to be a thing of the past. And we are constantly warned. It is the end of all things. So now, let's get another quick precept. Let's go to Job chapter 5. One moment. Job chapter 5. We're getting ready to close out. Job chapter 5. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. I'm hoping that you get edified by the lesson today. Job chapter 5 and verse 20. And it reads, "In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the powers of the sword." So that is about it. We don't have anything to worry about. The Lord said he will deliver us. He will take care of us in a time of famine, in a time of war. Right now, rumors of wars, and that is about it. It is only going to intensify. But the Lord said he would keep us from the hour of temptation, because we kept the patience. We kept the what? The gospel. And that is about it. He said, hold fast what you have. And that is about it. He said, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. Let no man take thy crown. And that is about it. The elect, we will not bend the fold. And that is about it. We cannot wait. We're standing on our feet, and we'll stand on fire for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that is about it. We know that he's getting ready to return. We see it all around him. UFO sightings all across the world. And that is about it. The Lord is getting ready to show up and show out. Woo! So rejoice, you have it. You have it. So now, let's, one moment. Let's go to Job. See what I might want to get something else out of Job. One moment. No, let's go to 2nd Chronicles before we close out. 2nd Chronicles chapter, one moment. 2nd Chronicles chapter 20. One moment. 2nd Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 9. 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 9. And it reads, if when evil cometh upon us, as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction. Then thou wilt hear and help us. So that is about it. That is talking about Israel. The Lord dwelled in the house of Israel, the house of David, the elect. And that is about even in war, in pestilence, or whenever a great tribulation comes, the Lord said he will hear us and he will help us. And he will deliver us. He's getting ready to return. And that is about it. We don't have anything to worry about. And that is about it, because we believe. And that is about it. We are walking by faith and not by sight. And that is about it. We're constantly walking in the spirit each and every day. We meditate day and night in his great wisdom and knowledge. And that is about it. We totally believe. And that is about it. We're keeping the faith. And the Lord is strengthening us, you know what I'm saying, each and every day through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh. We knowing that America is finished. We've seen that this place is constantly crumbling all around. The infrastructure. We're seeing that the government is constantly crumbling all around us. And that is about a lot of people still thinking that everything is going to be all right. Constantly believing in white man Jesus, Pastor Pork Chop. A lot of people are leaving the churches. And that is about it coming, you know, to come into to the true knowledge, which in fact is just the gospel, you know what I'm saying, that we are bringing forth. And that is about through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that is about that, you know, it's a great awakening that is going on around us right now. A lot of people are seeing that great fear is falling upon them, because they're seeing that time of trouble is coming. They're seeing all these different things that's going on in the world. The world is constantly acting up. It's constantly trying to show you that, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord is getting ready to return. We see it, you know what I'm saying. This is the quiet before the storm. And I did about it that, you know, all of a sudden, the Lord said he would come like a thief in the night. So now, let's go to our last and final script, and we'll close out. Let's go to, one moment. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 1, and we'll start up at verse 10. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. One moment. One moment. Oh, that's Zechariah. One moment. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. One moment. And it reads, and it shall come to pass in that day, says the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. And that is about it. It already had an economic collapse back in the the Great Depression, but it would be far greater than that. The dollar is getting ready to crash. This economy is getting ready to crash. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And we constantly telling you to come back under total subjection to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. He's the only one can deliver us out of all these troubles. And that is about it. You know, we're going to constantly walk in the path of righteousness, the elect. So now, let's start back up at Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 11. Howl ye inhabitants of Mashtosh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. Verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled in their leads, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. So those are the 2/3. They constantly seeking money. And that is about it. You know, the wages of sin is death. And that is about it. The love of money will cause you to be destroyed. And that is about it. We constantly warn you left and right. You know, so for all your possession, all the things that you have, what profits the man to gain the whole world and lose his own life? And that is about it. Those are the 2/3. And that is about it. They love it here. They want the things that they can see right before their eyes. And that is about it. We want the thing that we have not seen, but yet we believe. And that is about it. You must be spiritual in order to see, because we can see the kingdom of heaven is right at hand. So rejoice. Once again, the house of David, we are standing up tall. So now, let's go to, let's drop down to verse 14. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14. And it reads, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And that's talking about the indignation of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. So when the Lord returns, it's going to be a day of great darkness, great thick gloominess. And because of the IBC on Mirth, and the sun is going to be blotted out by all that destruction. And the Lord is getting ready to bring that sword. And a lot of people thinking that he's coming to bring peace, but the Lord said he's coming to bring not peace, but he getting ready to bring that sword. And that he would come down on Idum, the so-called white man. And you 2/3, get ready, line up. He said, first my judgment will start at the house of Israel. And because you love it here, you love your oppressor. And you constantly are going against the men of the Lord. The Lord is getting ready to cut you off. So we don't have anything to worry about. Great judgment, great death is read upon him. Recompense and judgment is read upon him. The Lord said that vengeance is mine, said the Lord. He said, I will repay. And the Lord's getting ready to repay. And we cannot wait. Woo! Don't mean to be random. So Zephaniah chapter 1, we'll start back up at verse 16. And it reads, a day of the trumpets and alarm against the fenced city and against the high towers. Verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. So that is about, we caution the one, that great judgment, that great destruction is coming. The indignation of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, that fervent heat, and that is about, we constantly warn you left and right. It is coming, and it's fast approaching. So that is about it, hey, we constantly warn, we are here. It is at the door. We're at the end of time. You know what I'm saying? The world is fading away. It's constantly mourning. And that is about it. The Lord is getting ready to return. I'm telling you left and right. We'll sound like a broken record, but we're going to constantly pound it in your head, whether you hear or whether you forbear. So now, Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 18. And it reads, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So that is about, the Lord is going to destroy this place in 1 hour. And that is about that. We constantly warn. A lot of people still think that this is a game. Still are not considering. Still turning their back on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Constantly joking, being merry, eating good, drinking good, as of the days of Noah, as of the days of Lot. And that is about, this place is finished. And that is about, they know the economy is constantly crashing. They're constantly lying to you. And that is about, all hell is getting ready to break loose. We constantly warn, hyperinflation has started. And that is about, it is only going to get worse. So people are going to get tensed up. A lot of people are going to get desperate. And that is about it, it's going to be a whole lot of killing, a whole lot of rape, a lot of blood is getting ready to be shed. And that is about, if the Lord don't have that hedge of protection upon you, you will be destroyed, because that is about, you did not seek the Lord. Seek the Lord while he can be found. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is The Collapse of America Has Begun. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. I like to say, Shalom.